Working together in Chicago parks, fostering partnerships and alliances. Welcome to Chicago at Play.
There are a few more ingredients there. What else do we need to
One
add?
bunch of kale and or Swiss chard, salt to taste, crushed red pepper flakes.
The Garden to Go program is new this season, but it's something that we've been working on for the past 11 years of the program. Up until this point, we've been from seed to harvest with the kids, and we've always wanted to be from seed to plate. Generally what happens is we harvest all these vegetables that we grow with the kids and we send them home, and they don't know what to do with them, and so we thought we need to give them those tools as well.
Garden to Go grew out of the Harvest Garden program, and together with Parkways Foundation, kids across Chicago are learning all about how to harvest and prepare food.
Parkways Foundation raises funds to enrich neighborhood parks. We're a partner of the Chicago Park District, and we really focus on areas of great need where we can bring resources in and investment in to help expand and launch new programs.
So we went to Parkways and they gave us a very generous grant, and we got a van and we drive around with all the supplies we need to run cooking demos with the kids. So we give them recipe cards, really easy, simple to follow recipe cards. We show them how to make the recipes here at the garden, and then we send them home with those recipes and with all the produce that we harvest.
They needed a van, they needed equipment, they needed all of these things, and we just thought it was the perfect opportunity to also, kind of brand this van as the Parkways Harvest Garden Van, Garden on the Go, to go around and to really build that excitement when kids see the van pulling up.
And essentially what we do is we just carry around a mobile kitchen for the cooking demo. So we pull out tables and everything we need to cook. We have burners, we have pots and pans, we have pretty much whatever you would find in a general kitchen. And we really try and recreate what the kids might have at home. So everything looks very familiar to them, very accessible to them. And even the tools we use, we try and make sure they're kid friendly. So nothing too sharp, things they can go home and say, oh, I can absolutely make this recipe on my own.
Gage Park is the site of new raised garden beds, the perfect spot for neighborhood kids to learn more about a local harvest.
What I can say about it is it's completely unique. There's no other garden like this in Chicago that we know of, and definitely not another one within the Park District. It's built on an older tennis court, which means it's completely accessible to anyone with a disability. Wheelchairs come in easily.
I've been to a few of the parks when the van pulls up, and just hearing some of the kids here, some of them love the smell of the rosemary. Another kid was like, oh, that's terrible, that's nasty. But, for them to experience together, like who likes what smells and kind of what resonates with them is, I think, is really interesting. One of the instructors here just said, here, smell this basil, it smells like pizza. Which of course then, helps them to conjure up, what that smell is when they're, even smelling pizza at home.
What is this?
And it helps vampires go.
The fantastic thing about our gardens is that in a lot of our neighborhoods, we are the closest source of fresh food for a lot of the kids. So it's really some of their only interaction with things like kohlrabi that we grew this year, or a lot of the interesting varieties of tomatoes and peppers that we grew. It's some of the only time that they can have that interaction, which is new for a lot of adults as well. And so it's a really great place for kids to access seasonal, local, organic, fresh produce that literally they grew themselves. And I think in an urban setting, it's very rare to come by. The parks offer such an amazing resource in terms of our gardens.
If we sent you home with beets and carrots, do you think you could make that?
Yeah.
Do you think you would make it?
Yeah.
The Garden to Go program is designed for 8 to 10-year-olds. You can find information to sign up at chicagoparkdistrict.com. Watch for the Garden to Go van in your neighborhood.
It's just kind of like, when families come together and it becomes this kind of group experimentation with cooking. That's a very special thing for families. I happen to grow up on a farm in Iowa, so for me that was like a daily experience. And to really be able to, work to help provide those kinds of experiences for these kids in an urban environment, it's so communal, and it's celebrating food.
They have been more excited than we ever anticipated. I was out cooking with a kid once and we were sauteing up some greens, and they stopped and looked at me and said, "Can we do another round of greens?" and ran off to the garden cheering to go harvest more kale and Swiss chard. And they've just been so excited about it. I think when the kids get to grow the produce themselves and pick it and cook it, it's just such a full experience for them that they can't even contain themselves. It makes me more excited.